I got a story for you, my friend.
Let's go.
Let's talk about the future.
Okay.
From New York, NBC, New York hospital won't deliver babies after unvaccinated staff quit. 6 maternity staff members resigned from Lewis County General Hospital during the past week, worsening an existing staff shortage. So you've got a labor shortage, then they do the mandates, then more people quit, now they can't deliver babies. So let's hit on with the point you were making. First, this is what happens with the mandates. People are like, I won't do it, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the future? These babies, where will they be born? They'll be born, and they're going to be born in different circumstances. This will have a profound impact on this country for 40, 70 years. Mm-hmm. So I take a look now. We were talking about this the other day about these these young democratic socialist types, these Gen Zers who are like in their 20s and they're socialists, and they don't care to interact in good faith on Twitter. No. You know, they'll say something like pronouns in the bio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Zuby's razor?
Zuby's razor, yeah.
If there's pronouns in the bio, just ignore it. Well, so I've tried in good faith interacting with people, and they'll say something inflammatory. Mm-hmm. I'll respond with a simple point, not inflammatory, and then they'll respond with derision and insults. Yep. And you know what I think is that these are the kids of the 2008 financial crisis. They were kids growing up at a time when their parents were hurting, mm-hmm. and then as they get older, and millennials also, a lot of them, you live in this nightmare dystopia of financial crises and warped values, celebrities ultra rich for, photoshopping their faces on Instagram. What values do you hold? And now they're voting for people like Joe Biden. Why? Because it's funny. Everything they said about Trump and Trump supporters is them. Voting for Joe Biden was the right thing to do because Trump was bad. But they accused Trump supporters of voting for Trump because it was a troll or it was a game. What we have now is a generation of people who don't care about the outcomes, don't have strong moral values, generally don't care other than, I don't know. Is it going to be funny? Am I going to troll somebody? Is it going to watch am I going to watch the world burn or whatever?
They call that opportunity cost. The cost that of what you don't do because of what you did. Like if you choose to do this, all these other things that you didn't do have a cost because you could have made money or made things from all those things that you didn't do. The opportunity cost of the war in Iraq is now we have psychotic people walking around that think it's normal to be at war. We have the financial crisis, kids stressed out because their parents are stressed out.
Imagine that. Imagine growing up with like a Leave It to Beaver family. You walk in and there's a big stack of pancakes and bacon and they're like, go to school and work hard, son. And you're like, oh, joy. And your problems were mostly like interpersonal issues, but not my family lost their house. Yeah. We're struggling. There's homeless people everywhere. Now take a look at the kids being born today. Yikes, man. Fourth turning, right? Maybe hard times will make strong men and then we'll get a boom period in the next 20 years. Or maybe you're going to have a bunch of dejected, angry, dystopian babies who just want to watch the world burn, man.
Yeah.
A generation of jokers.
Yeah, I think a big problem as well, and I touch on this a lot, is I always say that in the modern West, there's something that a lot of people lack, and those two things are perspective and gratitude, right? Because I was kind of having this conversation with Lydia earlier, which is that it's simultaneously true that things are going crazy and it's kind of scary and this is getting worse and that's getting worse and this is bad. But when you kind of zoom out on a historical level or on a global level, you're still like, man, we live on some fantasy island. I mean, just what we're doing right here is magical. Any of our ancestors would just see this. They'll be like, wait, how is my great great grandson earning a living and making money? He's doing what? He's talking. What? Internet? What are you? Right?
Microphone.
Like what? Like the whole thing we're
writing
doing.
on parchment and sending it overseas by boat.
Yeah, and there's so much opportunity. We all know we're all online people. We can see the sheer amount of opportunity that's out there, as well, is phenomenal. Like what I do for a living, what you do for a living, even just a couple decades ago, even 15 years ago, it wouldn't have been able to be possible in the way that it is now. So we live in this weird. There's this weird. I don't know the right word, juxtaposition where simultaneously it's like, oh man, like this is really worrying. There's this moral decay. There's this cultural malaise. People are giving up their freedoms. People are wanting to embrace radical ideas and cause this division and whatever. But then on the flip side, you're also like, man, compared to previous decades and previous centuries, things are amazing. And you look around the world and it's like, oh, wow, actually, where would you rather be? You get all these people, man, the USA, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, where do you want to move to?